Today na the 5th day of October 2021. The 4th day of October, it be Kawitiyon. We make some people we can listen to the program, not be able to listen to the program yesterday because we've been taught the program and carry and go na YouTube and we'll go directly to family them with it na the radio. But today, we don't come back now regular platform, we na Facebook. What thing we want for lay na table today? The National Commission for Privatization, na Salon, say inside the first 6 months of this particular year, 2021, they don't already able for raised over 144 billion leones in revenue for the government of Sierra Leone. Government wants money. Not so? Yeah. And this administration, we don't tell we say, they never go trust so for people. Then they able for raise money locally. Well, them get for come or go get for no. I must really then don't trust. And I must really then raise and I must really then can spend. But for today, we want look inside this one way the Commission for Privatization tell we. This not to the National Revenue Authority we in there for tax. Because when you listen to the commissioner when Prince Hardin, you go one for understand say then self outside they don't able for collect this money more. Now wataki if NIA can he can tell you how much themselves don't collect. Outside then the collector. Now wataki. So I don't know if this one surprise you thinking to say these prices where people and the grumble say they go up, they go up, they go up. I don't know if you get the opportunity for watch AV on Sunday with the Minister of Information, the Minister of Trade, Dr. Dennis Bright, and also the Madam Femi Claudius Cole from Unity Party. The minister, we self on camera, we don't go work at him. He make the argument, for example, say Pepe, if Pepe go up, because if that woman don't able for getting farm, that man don't able getting farm, he don't harvest. The proceeds from the harvest, now it expect for sustaining himself and in family. So, now give an example, say Pepe. If he go sell in Pepe we bland sell example 200,000. Then that 200,000 they bland get one bag rest for that kind pepper day. Then now, if you go sell that same quantity of pepper day 200,000, you know they able to get that one bag rest again. What thing it do? It increase the price of in pepper for able for match for meet up for buy the one bag rest way that pepper bland buy. So now it make you carry where they say, oh, all things don't go up, or then say, oh, pepper self don't go up. What you do? Because the person we plant, we harvest, now for that particular produce day, himself they expect for waiting, for able for take care of him family. So you not go sell them the way you don't use for sell them, where at the end of the day, he and him family not go able for get the kind of thing where then they expect from the proceed. That is the just simple example. So why we use rest as an example like that? Because you get for pass now the port as it is right now. I like you say, oh Salon, we rest, they plant rest. We get rest, we get wala rest, we get of rest. But then one then they self expensive past the rest then where they come. They are expensive per cup past the rest the way they come. So the government of Sierra Leone they self find a way for make more money na the port. We remember with the introduction of Bolori, Now na the ports we get different institutions them where they serve different services them where they render where people they pay to them, they self pay to government. Even for scan, even for scan container, it not under the government. It they under different institution where you pay to them, then put Leone, then pay to the government. So like down the port right now, you get separate institution, on a private. All man they run your own business day. You pay them, then put them in court, then pay to the government. The government go tell you say, well, that one day they make them get beaucoup money, just like way with the land now say, inside the first 6 months, the government privatization not able to raise 144 billion just for the government. Then you now wonder say how the end produce of all anything that they pass through this system, they reach to the final consumer and how the price get for look like. When me, I want for believe say, this one way we don't learn so now. Yes, you cannot eat your cake and then have it. You not go say, you want privatize all anything, huh? Oh, go can listen and say, not fed any privatization. Because government, they get their own cuts, the people and they get their own cuts, then we move on. But what about the people of Sierra Leone? What about the common man? What about them? Yeah, the government can boast, say, we've made money. Money is coming in. And then at the expense of the people? You gonna say, no, Tripoli, you they look am bad. Not so that way they for look am. As long as the money they come, the government is spend a mark by the people. Like, seriously? Seriously? There are certain things them na the port. Well, maybe they're not forbidden privatize them. Government run them, but again, what key? You can't cook jumuko with the under. So because of beaucoup services them na the port, don't be privatized. This is what we have. Government boast of more money, people boast of suffering. Government promise for raise more revenue in years to come. People they foresee say, hey, if right now it turns so what you get for look like for we. But this is the same government through the Minister of Trade, where we say government don't even lower the taxes. But how you go say you dey lock one side, then you dey open another side? And nobody not they do business for loss. No. Nobody not they do business for loss. And the salon when me sabi so. Where if government price, not just say when win them contracts and they, must kuku jumuku and you play. Or then they get for other all and the overheads because they get for pull them back. Okay. I want for make we can listen to Dr. Prince Harding. Na the Commission for Privatization. We himself, they make boast, say able for raise so much amount, and in they expect government for getting waiting he want, so that by next year he go raise more money for them. Through Radio Democracy 98.1. Let me listen.
The National Commission for Privatization, they work with state-owned enterprise them like the Salone Airport Authority, National Shipping Agency, Saratel, Guma Valley Water Company, National Insurance Commission, Lotto and other one them for raise couple for government But how it don't look like with the commission inside 2021. Dr. Prince Adin, now the chairman for the National Commission for Privatization.
For the past 6 months, we don't generate over 144 billion, where it not really happen today.
Okay. For the past 6 months, Dr. Prince Adin wants me you for no say, then don't generate over 144 billion leones. He say not be the happen today. Well, that particular connotation the way I'd say it not be the happen today. It depends how you want for look am. Some of the institutions there, them be there today. If them been there, why it not been they happen? If them been there, well, if they not been there, then that's the reason why it's happening now. The commission, una thank you. 144 billion leons. Just for 6 months, oh. Do ya? In this revenue, where they're able for raise, we didn't talk anything about Corona. For say Corona, make them not able for raise money. For say Corona hamburg them. No. This not got nothing for do with Corona. They raise the money where them be one for raise. For government, it's revenue. Because what you do? Institutions then they where they get for pay government. They get for where you go through them, then take their own, then give the government in own. Okay. You want to know whose institutions they want then they where you able to raise the money for? Okay.
Because of the steps the world don't take to ensure that the one that made them run efficiently and pay what they for pay to government.
Make them run efficiently. Then make them pay what they supposed for pay to the government. Of course, you know kind of country you they run efficiently, don't you not pay to we? No, you have to pay. Eh? Thank you, sir.
Now, for most institutions, then that when I raise this couple.
Bolori.
From whose institutions them when I raise this couple? Okay, Dr. Prince Adin say he said then they boku. Who's one first way call? He say Bolori. Oh dear, fambulem. Bolori usaidi. Eh? Now wataki. Then they offer services. Now wataki. Bolori. One. Now listen, Uswani they call again.
CTN groups.
CTN groups. Usa official then they. All right. Let me listen and back.
Logistics.
Logistics. Usa official. Yeah. It does so far. Usa official logistics day. All right.
The company they including seaport.
Seaport. Who say seaport today? I don't know, maybe now the one that will come top of your head. Now I make it the call all the one that na the Nawataki. Or now the one and then they able for raise more money from. Eh? Okay, seaport. Let's continue.
They get groups and they are non-core functions where we don't privatize them. Like
he said groups then they where they don't privatize back. For some functions then they, you know, say, now what a key back. So why make work they talk about the high prices and things them at the port? They still they make like if I say they don't understand. But where a lot of services them now the ports don't be privatized. A lot. And I tell you, it's business. Then people and they no go out say all kind of a machinery. If you don't go down the port, you know what thing that they use for move container, do this, do that. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. Okay? Continue, sir.
LSS, CTA container scanning, etc.
Container scanning, etc. All one day, they don't privatize them. I tell you just now. Eh? Okay.
Lorry, etc. They will have, we'll get the other one, them also NSBT.
NSBT. NSBT, then serve now, then they render core functions now the port. Then get bagging system, then get for organize the containers. They get different services them where then self they render na port day. But a business then can do. Eh? Business then can do. So, but would they get money safe? Why would they complain? Well, because at the end, the price, where they don't go through all Lentian at the port, it look like for say, because the mining now look the favor we again, the gun self say tire. We don't go na bush, we dey cut thick. Now we are open our taki. We are open our taki. Go na Guinea. See how much people in the pay na Guinea. You go say, oh, because Guinea, then they not put in at them port. But the more things than they come na the country, now they might go be easy on the people them. Not to make good they go buy na Guinea, they go buy market. They go buy imported thing in Guinea. Then Guinea in turn they can buy we own produce there. Yeah? Now so they be. Guinea they can buy we produce there. We go na Guinea with things the way we forget cheaper. Now we don't continue get as well. No. To the extent the Coca-Cola factory na Douazak e lock na salon. E go Guinea. E they produce they load na truck there, then drive and go inside salon. Eh? Because what in do? We right now, we hungry bad for money. So go can left huh? No. Now the pot, money they. So we dey collect for 6 months, 144 billion. I will left so. Triple labor push. Continue, sir.
Now, for the first time for the past 20 years, Lotto don't pay all his staff. They don't owe them. So they owe. For the first time in 20 years.
Okay. For the first time in 20 years, Sierra Leone State Lottery don't pay in staff them. But Dr. Prince Adin no explain to we how they're able to pay in staff them. Because I don't know when last I bought State Lottery, Sierra Leone State Lottery. I know that they Mercury, even the one XBet we can see now then YouTube clip them, they don't reach Salon now. Eh? One XBet don't reach Salon. But I know say that Mercury here, not Kiri State Lottery, so I know say they no deal. But it's good they're able to pay them staff them. How they raise their revenue? Then self don't begin make money back. Because you know say State Lottery be done die. But you say that them pay them staff them. That's good. That's a good one. I'll continue, sir. Or they don't privatize themselves. Maybe I not get an idea of it. I don't know if you know, but if you know, comment for me. If Sierra Leone State Lottery, if they don't privatize themselves.
Yes, Lotto, they don't begin pay money to government. For this 3 months alone, we don't supervise them, we don't privatize them.
It don't answer. Because I want to know if you know. But it don't answer for we. So, when Sierra Leone State Lottery be there under whosoever and it been there. I don't know if government can play gamble. But anyway, when be there under the anno it been there, nothing. But through Dr. Prince Adi now, we don't land say they don't privatize them. For the past 3 months, for the past 3 months, when they privatize them, they self don't begin for pay. Okay. Money they come. So now we don't know say money all our 144 billion day. Wataki get in yon. I feel say mostly now from Wataki. Then state lottery back don't get in yon. Then now continue, yeah.
They don't pay 160 million. And we hope
Dr. Prince.
Then pay 160 million. Now state lottery self don't pay. Let's say don't begin put on the one pot. Not to this one pot too. There.
Aden continue say, inside 2022, the National Commission for Privatization don't project for gather over 160 billion loans for government.
And I no go do it. Dr. Prince Adin tell we say, for the first 6 months, inside 2021, inside this corona, then they're able for generate 144 billion. We're not done the year too. But now it is say inside 2022, then go generate 160. Okay, I know 6 months 144, 12 months 160. Okay. Alright. I don't know. I made a trip or okay, something now the start of the year now they can pay more. So to the end, because maybe now once a year then they pay. Alright. Anyway, they'll continue.
2022 about 160 billion. Over 160 billion.
Okay, it say 2022 then feel say over 160 billion. Okay. SCC. Is somebody listening over there? But yeah, I don't know if when I say fright sound something, then teacher they don't give award so today. I thought na chaya pa den teacher then. Anyway, if you're not teacher, if you relate to any teacher, one say well done to them. For the good work what they do. Okay, the president not awarded them today. But they no say they no get ACC in lock. Okay. But I can't to them back. ACC. Do ya? I not say Dabaru Yuki business they play. But I just want to help me understand na ya say. Una go need for do some calculation with the Commission for Privatization. Yeah? Because for 6 months inside 2021, they say they don't get over 144 billion. But now that they tell we say, come 2022, then go able for collect over 160. Hi. They are ACC. Una pay attention.
And this word here, privatization, level left and small.
The word privatization, Dr. Prisa didn't say we need for left and small. Uda olam, if na you ola left and no. Left the word privatization. I'm big. Tripule, ibandong. Ado ibam. Continue, sir.
We hope for make sure say them entity here, then state-run enterprise. Now we don't turn a private-public partnership.
State-owned enterprise, we don't turn them public-private partnership. Private-public partnership. Now me get, now you get, now we all get. You give me my own, you take your own, but now me own. Judge Kamara say, the same thing say the idea of privatization now for bring improved quality of product and better yet, good customer service. But when you overtax the private company, he said then they end up pass the cost and the tax burden to the consumers them. Okay. I say on afraid privatization. And Judge Kamara back don't tell we now say, in feel to say, now because now they go bring improved quality of product and better yet, good customer service. Valerie Letitia Williams say, he said for any country for be prosperous, you get for tax people and raise money so that the country go get light, water, roads, food security, and other thing them. He say, but we people them, then they tax them too much. Now that make the country they struggle because we know they get better money where they can our pocket and we they pay too much tax, but that small money where they can to we. He said they need for raise the wage for able for balance, the kind of starvation where they inside the country. I'm not too Sanusi say, he said wait to billion upon billions, He said waiting we don't do with all that. In Sierra Leone, the tax. Okay. Jerome. Now continue.
So the work people will privatize now for sale. When they do that,
people feel say we will privatize now for sale. Okay? Dr. Prince Adin don't make we understand say not so than they do. They not sell. I mean they call them public-private partnership. And me get, now you get, now in that. Jaden Kontekamai say wait to over 60 years, we still they try for figure out how for fix the rotten system within our country. Who tell you say the system rotten? You. You know see that always 144? You left no.
When they say no property, I remember when they know that they
no property, this administration not they sell. So when you say privatization, not to say they don't sell them, they know they sell. Na pong then they pong. So what's in a pong? So tell them it will make you understand fine what's in a pong.
This government is very sensitive about selling people's property.
Hey, we are the people. Thank you, sir. This government open your wide. Say, in a mix by sell the people in property. Now they say now property. Okay, we the people. But now look cack shoulder, no? Say this government, they sell now property, they know they sell. Now pong no more than the ponga. The ponga they go take you on. Now man take you on then. All they go. Alright. Waiting. Jerome Ibrahim say Tripoli, Black Johnson. So not to the people and get them. You not be waiting and talk for Black Johnson. But come and say na boku talk when I see. I'll continue.
We just bring in new investors, and mostly the one that we don't bring, mostly the nationals.
Then just they bring in new investors, and they want make me you know say mostly, not to all, not to all. If somebody tell you say mostly, how much percentage you go on for game? If somebody tell you say mostly, you hear how Dr. Prince Hardin stressed the mostly. We say mostly. Na Sierra Leoneans them, na nationals them. When we say the people them where they go for them contract here, na Sierra Leoneans them. Dr. Prince Hardin left for. Because we go down the port right now. Yes, the one the way they work they go be Sierra Leoneans, but the people them we get the contract with government, we get the privatization, public partner, or whatever deal with the government, they are not Sierra Leoneans. But he say mostly anyway. Okay. Mostly. Samuel Hamilton he say mostly is mostly 100%. No, he say mostly. You know, he not say all their.
For Sekadem plan, Dr. Prince Adin say the National Commission for Privatization don't ask the Ministry of Finance for support them with over 6 billion loans.
Okay. They want over 6 billion loans. Then raise over 144 billion. They want for the money they raise. What do you think? You don't think say them forgive them? I forgive them more. So me think. But not to money no more they want.
Support them with mutka, workman them and other thing them. We go make them able to do them work. Find one as he say.
He say they want motoka. They also want workman them. I know it's difficult for this administration. Fire Force want to workman. The one that don't put Air Force. Immigration want to workman. Now the Commission for Privatization self want to workman. It's I don't know. Because they try for see all the one there we want for hire people. One, do we have the people for the job? Do we have the people for the job first? If we get them, why only they hire them? Or now because anyway, I'll continue.
The commission don't plan strategy for monitor state-owned enterprise them for see them do better and get a plenty couple for government inside 2022. As
yeah. The commission not left there. Government enterprise them. The one that way they're not able for privatize it. They need them one and they back for make money for the government. They need them. Of course no. Not all to go privatize. They all the other government supposed for make money. But because they need to make money, I make government quick. It pass over. You take your own, I take my own. Alright.
most of them, don't they complain of challenge within the get over the year them?
We don't make a matrix, we don't send them. Now some kind of document we don't send to all state-owned enterprises.
Okay. Dr. Prince didn't say they don't get a system where they don't send out to all state-owned enterprises, institutions them where they under the government of Sierra Leone. Well, I think with the come now the technological age now, so everybody they boast of this system where they know they try for do and all right, okay.
All parastatals then. From that matrix, every 3 months, then for 4 months or so, when they feel them, we would read them, we go assess who's a problem there, especially financials problem.
Every 3 to 4 months. Thank you, Musa. Radio Democracy on a thank you because I true they make me able for listen to Dandy. Every 3 or 4 months, then state-owned enterprises them. This now waiting they try for do now so that then go able to find out why the one they want to not privatize it, not they make money like the one they don't privatize. So every 3 to 4 months, then one and day, then go they put in information where the commission go they check and see who side lapses there and try for figure out the problem for make them fix the problem so that then one and they back go begin for make money like for say na private or public-private partnership yon. Na di what did so? We glad for them they raise the money. But how? You cannot eat your cake and then have it. We don't go say in belle tobom, it don't done. Yeah? Like out to Smantoli, make we hear what's in your take on this one. Welcome on board Smantoli. You get the platform, sir.
Thank you very much, Triple A, for having me. For Can Talk on the topic, National Commission for Privatization, then budget hearing. And also, we will thank Radio Democracy for the report. One very interesting question will you ask, and I think say now inform the basis of the analysis. You listen to Prince Adin. He say for the last over 6 months, the commission collect over 144 billion leones, which is almost equivalent to the sum of $14 million. $14 million almost. The question is, how the money raise that money there? Because you say for almost 20 years, then kind money they not raise them yet. And subsequently, the question again we ask, then we know say these are difficult times, and for most of the time when they ask them question, then they refer we to COVID-19, using COVID-19 as an excuse. But this time around, we know you talk about COVID-19, how it don't impact businesses. Rather, it is boast of how the commission don't raise the total sum of $144 billion, billion leones. It's a good question. We want to know how they come up to that amount there. I hope say, well, we will delve into the issues here. But first of all, just give an overview of how privatization in our country they go, or how is it formed. Well, when you talk about privatization in the strictest sense, how people understand them, simply mean how would they sell public property to private entities, then to private concerns. But in Sierra Leone term, or in the term of Prince Adin, it just simply means the government, they contract a service to the private sector, basically. So in other words, government or public still get, they are shareholders at that business day. In other words, it's a public-private enterprise. So it's still owned by the public. Yeah? And this privatization, it came to being by the 2002 Parliamentary Act, where just means the commission, they're responsible for formulate and manage and also implement the privatization policy. So in other words, and then they supervise then entity here where then privatize for efficiency and in terms of efficiency and cost. Basically, now they will function that. But it goes beyond that. It goes beyond that. In the sense that they're also responsible for ensuring they create the enabling environment. And this is important. Yeah. They're also for ensuring they create the enabling environment for private business system for flourish. Very important. The reason why I say this is important, one know whether the commission actually go to the extent for ensure, say, then create the enabling environment for where private entities then, flourish, so that it will help for stimulate the economy, so that we'll get a growth. That is the biggest question. But before I answer some of them questions here, Triple A, let me say this. Yeah, we listen to the commissioner, NCP commissioner, yeah, National Commission for Privatization, yeah. He said for over 6 months, the company generates about 144 billion leons, and according to the projection, 2022 projection, yeah, then they hope for collect over 160 billion leons. Yeah? So that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And the thing is, Triple A, under these difficult and trying times, yeah, we know say things are hard. But what you will not want to see, there are certain sectors then, in that country, they, where I feel say, then therefore be very careful. There are certain sectors where the public no get no alternative. Certain sectors. For example, you talk of Bolori. Hence, you don't come with your goods them now at a key. Yeah? You no get no choice. It's just has to be on the answer Bolori. And for the one that don't know what's in a Bolori now, in fact, now a foreign company where they can invest in a saloon, where it just means say they specialize in the transport and storage of consumer goods, telecommunication, and other things. Them now then they store them and transportation wise. So now then they handle all them things then they. So hence you goods they arrive now the key. You not get better option under. Yeah, you get for pay 'em. There is no way you have to pay that. And this has now been sub or contracted to this, I think it's a French company. Yeah, and then they're responsible for that. Because you give a number of examples of some of the companies them where they under this privatization. A lot of them triple A. For example, even things like Port Authority, I think Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, you talk of Sierra Leone Broadcasting Service, Ukel Commercial Bank, you talk of things like Sierra Leone Road Authority, NATCOM, the National Insurance Company, all of this, then they under privatization, we means in a public-private enterprise, yeah? So the argument is some of them company are where sectors are where not only one, yeah, one there is no alternative. The argument is thorough now, yeah, because let me be honest with you. One of the reasons, one of the advantages of private public enterprises or privatization is that then say it drive down costs and bring efficiency. Yeah? Simple logic. If now government they run a particular entity, yeah, particular business, people intend for misuse them. People become inefficient. Yeah? But when you give them to a private person for manage that entity, the motive is for drive down cost, yeah, and make that company they become more efficient, become more productive. Yeah, that is a logic. That is a logic, and this now a methodology or a system where don't become very popular even in their advanced country. We see also a lot of procurement, government they contract some of the service system to private bodies so that they will run them they're not going to misuse them, then become more competent, more efficient, then they save in terms of cost, So these are the rationale behind private-public enterprise, basically. I made any procuring contract here so that they will get efficient delivery of the service and drive down cost. But here is the argument. The argument is, in some of them, enterprise here, we get very little alternative. Yeah, no competition. Yeah, you have to take it. Yeah, sure as Bolori, for example. And she goods they don't kind of ataki, they in the hands of Bolori. Yeah. So the question is, we say would expect the National Commission for Privatization for supervise and show say then is their entity able to operate and service at the most efficient cost so that then go create an enabling environment for that we thrive for move the country forward. But here is the government. We don't listen to Chris Harding, we're not the commissioner for a National Commission for Privatization, the money we call, and we don't hear he cries from businesses in Sierra Leone. How the cost of shipping, so many other costs don't go up. Yeah. And we all know we country, is much more of an importing country. We are not exporting much. So most of we services them, we product them are being imported to the country. Yeah. Are being imported to the country. And if you get a service, we shall not get alternative. We have to take it or leave it. Because in a situation like Bolori, they are price makers. And then they dictate the price. They are price makers. And the argument is, Usai, you get an entity where now price makers. Yeah? The producer, is more likely to get more than the consumer here. As one of you commentators then, I think is George, a maker, yeah? In most of these cases, then they hand up for pass the cost to the consumer. Yeah? Because I can't see how the commission will able to drive some of the entities here, where not just one entity, for make them become efficient and cut down cost. And I think you mentioned that AAA. For most of these companies, then private company, especially, their motive, their primary motive is for maximize profit. They did it for make profit. Nobody know they run business for loss, but we expect the National Commission for Privatization, for supervise some of the entity here, for let them become more efficient, cut costs, so that, then business here go thrive. But we are not, and don't think this is happening here. Because if we see businesses are crying day in and day out, say businesses, things are not favorable to them. So more likely, what thing will not happen here, it means the cost. Then go don't pin. I wish them for the, call some of them entities here, some of them private entities here. Let them come interview them. Yeah? How themselves they feel the cost. How they manage, how NCP, manage for raise the money out from them. What will not happen now when they're able to raise more money from them as compared to what may not happen 2-3 years ago or 4-5 years ago? These are some of the fundamental questions. Yeah? The question is, does it mean then company, they don't become more efficient because of proper supervision where they come out from NCP, or is it because the cost, has increased, has been passed or increased to them, subsequently then self-therefore pass the cost to the consumer? These are some of the fundamental questions then. It's not just what coming around you, NCP, You can't talk, say, well, we don't, we don't make, we don't raise any kind of money here. The question is, how did you come about for raising any kind of money here? Yeah. Is it through divestment? Yeah. Divestment means you sell some of the, part of government holdings to, and that money they go to the consolidate, because all the money, I think they go to the consolidated revenue fund, where then they collect, where then they raise, they go to the consolidated revenue fund. So there are some fundamental questions, but the bottom line is, yeah, where would they see we are worried because people and they cry, business system and they cry, and we know they see the enabling environment. We expect the the NCP for create an enabling environment so that businesses can go flourish. We don't expect them, for make costs to go up. We just expect them for manage their entities here, for become more efficient so that they will drive down the cost, rather than making their entities here become more expensive, consequently passing the cost to the consumer. So one know how this money come. Is it through divestment? Yeah? Then divestiture, or what is it? What is it that makes them people where they make them kind of money here? Who side the money here come out? Because we are reformer. You say for over 20 years, then kind of money are no one they can. And listen to in projection for the 2022, where they talk about 160 billion leons. Yeah. So triple A, these are some of the concerns. I think you raised most of the concerns then. Some of the fundamental questions where you raised them, they're in line. I agree with you. I support you. We hope, let me say this, we hope the loss of revenue we them be not make, we them say they make during COVID-19. We hope say they not go try for hastily try for recover them within this period of time. Otherwise, it will get some serious negative ripple effect on businesses. As we see businesses and it's suffer right now, they have, then therefore be careful so that what they wish for, will be detrimental to businesses. And to be honest with you, business not going to thrive under them difficult circumstances. I will stop here, allow a chance to other panelists then, as well as other callers then. Thank you very much, Triple A. And thanks to everybody who are listening. So,
Thank you very much, Usman Toli.
thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Like out us friend, make we waiting in get for we today. Welcome on board us friend. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Triple A, for giving the platform. And thanks to Mr. Usman Toli for his contribution regarding this privatization, in commission with a long gain as salon and the revenue with a long face for gay. The thing that I will not say actually, then we don't follow African countries and it was how they try for see them, we don't change them up, that was and they try for encourage and say una try do privatization who will help una develop. But there was a slowness in doing that. So economy don't grow now. You see globalization don't stretch in legs. We the sub-Saharan don't able to get that grip of the advantage will be for don't day during the time when economical growth not been there. You know really talk about a kind of a global crunch or economic crunch when those areas then day because in terms of privatization, what think government they aim for do now a way for actually like how Mr. God told me that for that efficiency, they try for get source of money for let una go build una infrastructure. And for let una go get that infrastructure there, Usa you go see in a day people and get for get a benefit. Usa will not reach for let we go get that money there. If we the government they do now the privatization, the cancel. Because they don't begin to exist in the economy of the African sub-Saharan more, beyond they go down. Because when you look at efficiency, you look at now, you ask yourself, is it a making profits or na a time they get for care. So you dey see the area of making profit and you dey ask yourself, is there time for caring? Time for caring for the public, the time for caring for the final consumer, the time for caring are for the money you use one for let you go able get the infrastructure what you want for do for let you go build them. Because you as a government, what if you don't get the public services them will involve caring. Say like the hospital, like you they do them, public service, the water system, the electricity. So when are caring for the people there, you fail for doing because of either malpractice or mismanagement, or you know, say you get economic problem. You dey see, say that's the time they don't they tell you, say now you bring in privatization. But when you look on the other hand of privatization, it only good at the time when years we don't take back, wherein you know they get the IMF, you know they get the World Bank, where then they can't give you a kind of then they bring in what they call the IMF, and they always advise you for say now would they give you money, and that way would they give enough, would they become directly involved, in other words the word and involved in terms of how for design and implement. Then they don't tell you say they design and implement by increasing the tax, low not give subsidy to fuel, let they cut this and then cut this, and they increase the tax. So that's the way we are able to get money. That was the area where IMF and World Bank they don't come. So before don't come that time, there was a window with privatization before don't day. But that one day we don't lose that chance. So now we therefore can now for introduce privatization because the government not able to meet with the public sector wherein they will care for them. But the disadvantage are many because when you look what may happen Guinea, I remember in 1989, 1997, they may therefore bring a privatization sector for the water system. But the water system in quality was very good by then. Even the supply reached all sides. But the unfortunate thing, the price increased by 7 folds between that time up to 97. So you see, there was a good quality, there is efficiency in the production of that thing, they become private, but there is nothing when at time we then put for care for the individuals because the government they don't fail for able for do their own public sector, the infrastructure by themselves. Then left the lady, they not get our money, then go see who will be able for reach for payer. We not get our money for make the road because it is all a source of revenue when they get so that they were able for develop infrastructure, then able for get utility provision them when at the water, electricity, and then they even increase investment like in agriculture. So the investment sector, we go question them. We will wait to see what the money is going for. Then the other sector now where you go see say in terms of that global development, how una go able for create them, una don't they try for reinforce them by bringing in this private sector. But when the private sector is not able for care, because of one, you're not able to regulate the taxation and you not get tax liability, then you go begin the cost and ask, say, I mean, they try for prevent tax evasion. There are then people that would avoid for pay tax or then try for manipulate. Now for that will bring privatization. Or now for people where they avoid taxation. So I will bring all these things. But when you put the two together, it's almost the one-way privatization sometimes can do, especially when you're not able to monitor them for meet with waiting your own expectation of the people them what then they expect. Because if they say no one for let me go get the revenue, what I will get for let I go able for achieve. It's just like this common saying. I feel like you say where fish can they I know type fish. When there's a fish, it's a man they know them. They say where can they now water, them small stream water, you don't hungry, game picking the way they go with 20 can make it dirty the water so that it just open mouth. It's well like imagine saying I'm want to picking them. So it creates a logic behind them. So it's something like this where the fish say I they try for satisfy myself, but they play a trick But the trick where they play is my own self I'm trying to hurt. Now my family are the reduce. I don't get generation who go there after me again. So in other words, I don't go get things who go develop. So now they get for tackle off for say, well, now I get for hold on to this. I get for look how we invest and get that money there where I know will affect the people there. So if I try for bring privatization, I get for limit them. I get for no say. It get for work, like I in the talk say, he did the private, the public, and the partnership. But then partnership, then the final say, it's more costly. In the people, and there is a hostility in the public. And the hostility in the public, when you go to the one market, they will tell you about what you experience from the price of flour, from the price of import commodities, or from the price of transportation because of either electricity. Anything will go relate in one way or the other, that dominate effect. So in the final say, all come down to how you are able to put that one day in order so that you will see, say, when are they getting money there? And they get it not at the cost of the citizen, but they get there at the cost of the one for private sector, because the private companies, they are only there to make profit from the public service. You see, and they make the money from the public service. And when they make the money from the public service, remember, even those who are doing this business, like the public, and when they come back now for do this, when they go able to go down, then they cut down the corners. Cutting the corners, that means they're not bring investment. Then they cut the corners then when I was under investment. Because at then they cut the corners of getting that profit. When they get their own tax, then they get their own, then they give the government. Then by the time now, where the final produce, when the man will actually pay the tax, with Philam, it can be behind the other area of the government for saying, let me go do my business, let I pass this road and go. You see, because the government are letting up back now at the road say, oh no, you can go for issue price so. In the past behind the government, because one, you don't get regulators them, but the regulators not from the price, but from the tax, so that they not go pass behind you, then go pass before you go see them. And when they pass before you, that means you are having the price control where you they see them going through. But because you they see say you don't already tax them, and they don't get the taxation indirectly from that corporate tax where they go pay from the one they would the certain areas where they provide they go say the change they go, and development not go. But it all comes to this idea for say, like when they say privatization, yes, of course, it bring development. It bring all other things that will go able to go before, because you don't feel for do them at the time we supposed for do them. So when you bring that, it's about like saying that you go bring the idea. So the idea, when I bring this idea, it work, because this idea and idea why I don't see that development, I go able for less in new people and go able for get involvement. But you don't say you encourage sometimes citizens and for do them. You encourage citizens indirectly, you get foreign bodies and they can't do them. So you find out now they go lend an idea, when a good idea, because now IMF don't talk say we are not do this, we are not do this. Now go look say thing. Now, say an example, people there's a saying, I think say there's a saying where like say Nigeria people they tell you say when you see picking the cut tick, tina bien far. What do they mean? The height of the stick, where it cuts, so they can follow, for tina play a day. Now that they all logic. But if me and Salon now, I don't go talk that one day. What I go say, if I see that one day, I go say, oh, once it begin the cut tick, I go pull and day. So you see, the saying, you know, go say, well, let me go take that proverb and bring on a salon. Once I see tick the cut, as I go behind them. Because your own culture is different. Your own culture, not caring. If they care for that picking, they go say, oh, I go pull that picking and call it tick. Or I try for save the life of that stick. But the man in Nigeria, I go talk, say, when you see picking the cut tick, you look at the height of the sticker, you know, see that inside the car for that they come on. So these are two separate things. At the end, sometimes you have to use logic in certain things that we bring. If you don't understand and tell you this, or people like can advise you like this, okay, I go try them, but I'll go for try in a way wherein I go do and like people and go get a kind of and then go see like a partnership. People and they buy shares wherein I know now people and like religious bodies. You know, once he said, instead of when they go begin to ask for people, let religious bodies then, like a song that's what they do now, let them get involved in these genuine things. So then go give part of their money, so then go they raise funds, then might even they help charity, they might even help towards this, or like CRS, then they help people and they try for go this. But this, I don't say that CRS and go bring, but just try for give an example how you go involve people and who are partners and who go get their own shares. So when we go be a genuine one, so maybe that's another form of privatization. You get for look how your system they work based on how the people in there. So you go get for bring thing. But if you just say the beauty of it is gonna be there, but at the end of it, it's gonna be costly. And then you not get the income where they pay people them, where they always meet waiting and they go buy. Now so you see hostility they come. People and they cry for price, hostility they develop. So you know we are building hostility indirectly by doing privatization at this particular time when we economy get problem. So you just for review and look back what they do. If na the taxation, they know say they get money, no other side no dey who money they come out. Well, we are not going to say don't get money. Then I say tomorrow when I didn't know when they get money, we say we'll get all that money again. But we know say taxation is part of government revenue. But when you get that taxation, you get for look at and from a different perspective, a different angle, where you know say taxation it relates to people. The politicians all over, and so then they play games on people, and then they can't give you 2, 3, then they take 2, and then they can't give you 1. Then they even take more than one again back. So these are the areas that where politicians they fail. But they pray, say those who are involved in this, where they organizing things there, World Bank, IMF, all these kind of people that we all leaders them, they are getting screwed. Then they take money and they cannot go out. People they cannot offshore. For go keep them money offshore bank. But God will make them expose them as they are seeing these things. I will leave that side there. Let God get for help we. What I get for see no more, let government help we for let them go make less profits and care for the people then. Thank you very much for helping me, for giving me the platform, sorry. And thanks to the listeners, and let God help we for let decisions are made so that they're reflected on the poor citizens. Thank you very much. God bless you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, us friend.
Yeah. You're most welcome. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's bring come doctor. Make we hear you. Waiting to get for we. Welcome on board, Dr. Isatuka Kejalo. You get the platform, man.
Yes, hi, good evening, everyone, and I hope everybody did do well. Thanks to U's friend, Miss Usman Tolly, and also AAA for own submission for today, and also to 98.1 for, the reporting we then do on this particular topic discussed today. So for me, really, I think I want for focus on 2 things here we get for deal with, where you choose for privatize a company, an organization, or, part of, a system, you look at the pros, you look at the cons, where you get for first ask yourself, which are the benefits now, so we will get if we privatize this specific area or this specific area part of the system where we run, some job companies then can do this, then they do on a temporal basis. If we then find out, say, then they fall, the revenue, they come, and it will affect people then jobs them, which Namio, hospital, they don't do this on, like now 2 areas that I think I don't mention this before one time, we talk about privatizing, systems or things them. So with that, what the cons is my concern, really, given that we too they go through right now in Sierra Leone, where people then all get jobs, and now where you privatize the institutions there, so is it guaranteed that then people then will be old job or positions them that our system or that our particular sector they will maintain their job or then will keep their job for make sure say they not lose their job, because if they lose their job then go bring in new people them, you get for consider couple of things. One, that person they way don't lost in job, get for find and difficult for find another job, and also that go actually not help the country as we always complain about, or things them we can to job creation and how people then they live, especially when they don't school and things like that. And then the other thing again, it costs money for train an employee. If you bring in new people them, you go need for train them people then they, and then how guaranteed are you then people then go stay within that job system they. So it go better for, hopefully, whatever this how they go for lay them out and how they go for plan them, hope that go affect people and jobs them we already hold a current position. Even if it costs for let them do extra training, it makes sense rather than starting all over again. But then the benefits or the pros for looking at this whole thing here is, if indeed it has to happen, then therefore look at, is it going to be effective? Is it going to be, productive, as well as the quality when they provide to the community or in that sector they will be improved? If that therefore happen, then, like you look at it, does the benefit outweighs the risk, or as well as just like way they treat somebody, the benefit for be greater as to revenue generation, as to creating more jobs, and also making sure that people are not going to feel like say na part of Sierra Leone when they try for sell to a private company. Look at something where Usman Toli highlight about the Bolori. We always don't ship something as Sierra Leone. We don't ship, vehicles them. We see how much it costs for clear one motuka, and this not something where I don't experience recently, for clear certain motuka them, it costs a lot of money where, even costs me for ship the motuka, out of the, no, the United States. So then, and they like we get for look at then other companies are where they can sit on a salon for make money. How much money they go into the government, to the country, infrastructure, as well as the development what we always crave for. We government get for try for see as they create then things they are way they try for privatize things. You get for put things in place and say, you don't own this, we want to let you do this, but with that, not to just follow you improve this area or follow you help we follow with try for generate income, but also with a strain right now, with a strain with light, with a strain with water, waiting a you own contribution in how we go put certain percentage of this revenue we will generate into the sectors there, so that we country will see benefit both sides, not just financial way, but also the development and the things and way we want to do. And me at the same time again, people them way get their job, they're not going to lose job in that way. So I hope say then look at the benefits in all this, but if not something again where they need for say, what, maybe this is not for us. I think Lord just spend money, we train with people them, and we try for bringing people them we go really do the job right, like hire somebody we go do the job correctly rather than selling it out there or giving it to somebody. But it should be on a temporary basis, because really you want where you don't give you something to person, you forget something back in return. And also the change where it create now the system for be something where go be there for other employees them or other people then where they come along, but for be still the government in your own or the country in your own property. So for me now I want now that take them me get for this particular topic here today. But we hope say salon go better in many ways, as we dey always look for better things for like the Kanawi country. Have a good night, and thank you everybody where they listen right now.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and inside the call from, please.
It isn't Patrick.
Yes, Patrick, you get 3 minutes, sir. What do you get for it today?
Well, first of all, thank Doctor for hearing voice back. At least you don't come back. Thank God for healing and everything. We know say any country where they collect tax, them boku money there. At least they take them tax money there back. They put it inside the community or the nation. We all know that we all live diaspora and other country there. where you work pay, you see the kind of tax where they collect na you paycheck. But where you see you say you there, your neighborhood where you there, road there, you see they go can't fix that road there, they go can't do something there that is, the community park there where they around there, they go improve it. Now the tax money there where they take from we. So you dey complain, but you dey see them back where they put inside the um, the neighborhood. But we own situation and I said all the money there where they don't collect them tax there. Waiting they dey do with her. They see that they put them back inside the nation or the community or the township there. Okay, you collect them boku money there. Okay, you don't collect there. You get projects there where una don't launch. Why some of them money they are not to go parent project there where they don't launch or improve facility of people then at the community, especially the hospital there, the schools there, and all that thing there. But not all for just kind of radio on a paper and say you don't call how many $1 billion. Where that man where she do that come on my way they cry for just 10,000 see they read them big money there. What do you think? It think say the government the thief money. Because if you dey call them money, then big money they are still and they don't collect. And that man when just they look for just 10,000 for feeding family, or that nurse, that voluntary nurse, when not even get pinko, or whosoever, when not even not they, you not get paycheck it for 1 month, 2 months, they don't hold in salary. Pensioner they wait for getting money every month, in order to get her, they don't owe him money over how many year they don't owe him money. Then when I call them big money, they say when I don't collect her. What if you see them people had to think but because if you say oh is they call them big money there and that man they or that code civil servant they don't work 1 month, you not pay the first or the end of the month, you not pay. You wait till the following month before you pay. They either say you don't collect tax. That they have make the thing the more difficult for the people there because they not understand. And then taxes they are already imposed by this importer. So you're not going to surprise when things that they're expensive. Now the country, we all know. So right now, the survival of the fittest. Then people that they live in a salon, survival of the fittest. Because if you don't budget, he said, then they say, I'm going to talk to somebody. I say, like, give me estimate just how much if you want 100,000, 150,000. I said, which plus size that they cook? Now I said, na dry rest. Just herring fish and pama and that's it. Then at the 100,000. I said, wow. So I said, okay, I asked her, so if you want cook plus size of any type, say roughly the budget is around 300 or 400,000. That means if you want let the plus size reach to the way you want it. So you don't see. Then when I call them big when I don't collect inside 6 months, when I don't, and people they know they see their money because the purpose of tax now when you collect them from people, they invest them back inside the people. Now that's all the purpose of tax. It's not for collector you keep and then one man sit down, you not sit down, a group of people that sit down, when I just share among one self. Because that the whole purpose of tax na the world now for let you collect that, then you invest them back inside the community or inside the country and improve people their life with. What you make all the so I watched a video then there's Facebook where somebody said just basic. Now the basic living people they need. Basic people, basic living, just simple thing. You wake up morning, you get your breakfast for it, lunch you get you able to eat your lunch, you able to provide for your picking. And not that take that much. But if you dey collect them big money there, you dey call her. It's just like you owe me. You owe me money there in front of me back. You dey tell me say, oh, I don't invest. I dey expect $2 million, 2 million. Then you owe me. Oh, how you go make me feel? So now pay you no want pay me. I go to feel say this guy no, he no want pay me money. It's not nice. Me, I not go say na lie that they lie say they don't collect them money. They go don't collect them, of course. They go don't collect them money there because we dey see am. and the prices of things, the commodities, then at the market. But they go don't collect that. But what did they do with that? They invest them back inside the people because that is all the purpose of tax. You collect, you invest them at the country, then people their life will improve. But they collect, they improve people their life. They kind of radio they announce you don't collect so thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Yeah.
Yes, caller, you live on here. Your name and who side you call from, please.
Yeah, people, the privatization when they talk about na salon, a day in two ways. You get the good side and the bad side. Me, I believe Wataki, I work Wataki, I know when they privatize Wataki, to me opinion, I think say that they good. No, I don't think any government go change.
Whose part we
the old Wataki, the tower they work there, it been there under government, been quasi government, na AFAF. But even with that AFAF, you understand, nothing Wataki not they pull for government. This money they pull so even 1/5 of them, they never go near themselves. Then the bad thing, I explain you the disadvantage, the bad side of how we the people that bad side will be the capitalize on how we be the unbug the country. For instance, I've been there bat one. With the internet they'll get 6 bats.
Okay.
6 bats, yes. That one now you get the permanent man the way they let me say now like then 12. Permanent casual. When Pakaba come na power, Pakaba say okay, let them help young people and get job. Without talk to the parties, when like what president say, let them help people let them get job. That'll be 5 permanent casual there under. People them bring people under all man they bring people in. How much we the permanent casual with them they pay every 2 times per the month, but they work continuously. You understand? We become 72 from 5 to 72 people inside small office. So what they go to government? Imagine 72 people then they pay we every month. Go to batch 2, the same thing. Batch 3, batch 4, batch 5. Can you imagine how they can pack people in our Saki Lake? Nothing, they go to government. So when Pakaba say, okay, now let them cut some middle, let them reduce. He say, no, they need money. They need to get money from Wataki at least. When they say they can pull in anything and do, we the original people who been the work they among we where they can pass and the people and they go school, where they na school na pay, they don't know how they see them, they can't take pay and go back. Tripoli. Demand them, then they take pay. What they say for cut we down. We all the work now, we then pull for the work, they left them, but they will still in a school. Yeah, so when left the bat one side, are they give some of the batting and no more been happening where they not been privatized Wataki? When you gonna container section under, the man they drive the forklift. Then they pass how much o'clock, people in the one after them for come bribe them for go pull their own container. All man they can meet there. Yanda they choke, people in there 2 weeks for pull one grain container. 2 weeks. So in other words, now governments when they get better money, then let me say government people and they get work, but government no they get money. So when they privatize, governments they get money now, people and they get. The privatize no they affect the business people on that much because the privatize no they affect the custom side. Now Wataki then they privatize. And if you go for clear, I mean what they talk to you, so I be for clear. Now clear in I left before I go overseas. You understand? We'll go for clear. The money they pay to Wataki directly is small. Now small money they pay to them. Yeah, for instance, you then send the way you clear motoka, about 50,000 they pay. Who go now the last sign up for pulling motoka. The most of the money where they clear now custom they go. People, the money they pay in a port where they clear now Wataki, not small. The most of the money are customs they go. You understand? But when they privatize Wataki, where you go now Wataki right now a different Wataki, if fine for look, you go both inside you day. You understand? Okay, the other area, I'm not going to talk much about that. They're waiting the ship and the pay because I'm not saying more than they make their own profit and the one way privatize will take over. But even before, government not been getting no better money from Wataki because they take and say, oh, now government place. Where you go there, if you see now one small office, how we go there 7 regular, just win a regular and Tale Clark. We go there up to 72. What's a corruption, Andy? Who's can't see Andy? What they tell you, so what they do now the offices. Then among we get people who they are college, and they can't pay no more than they can take pay. You understand? Then when you go outside for let the work take place, where you go for go clear one container, they parent up to 2 weeks. But this what them privatize Wataki, then they know they be again. You know, when it comes to clearing about goods the way they can merchandise, Wataki, the money they pay directly to Wataki, a small thing. Most of the money are to customs they go. So if you imagine the kind of money I see them pull back now Wataki, no, that they not be ever good they go near and say. No. They not be ever. So it is in 2 ways. Now because government when this come to where we go we look back say, well, now this make they talk about power in the country. Because industrialization in the country, in a better than like 2% or 3%. If you then bring power, most of we now will get small to go open one small company. It go help na the country. But who that go open company, then you go for the money all get for go per gas. You go for go per diesel. So this now critical problem. This problem about privatization, trust me, to me, like what Akiwa know how it happened there. You understand? It better. Today you see what Aki find, so he look and then they even extend that. I think I 8 back then gets now Wataki. Before you not been there so. You not been there so. I'm not denying on one party then as alone, but you see where other people can, you see them drop out, what they need they don't privatize and they not change and they just continue with that because money they come. Because they help the government. The mine inside where they look to. Look Mampa mine. How much it been closed for? It closed and sack all man. So now only Wataki at the main side way continuously. Consistently they help the government as alone. So that privatize it, I don't know, but I don't think the government go change it. To me, the other way people are not the better people and another way better people like how they be higher where they not privatize. So now the only thing and the last let me say contribute. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Usman.
You're welcome.
Yes, caller, live on here. Your name and who side the call from, please.
Ezekiel, I call from Oregon.
You get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, I think I'm confused. What in the privatize Wataki?
No, sir. I don't know. You
Okay.
did from the start of the program?
No, sorry.
Okay, I guess that's why.
Okay.
The Commission for Privatization say they're able to raise over 144 billion leons for the first 6 months of this year. And it give different examples of companies them where they be able to get the money from, and when we check them, mostly now from the ports. Now what's a key. Now they company they will get the different services, but now based on public private partnership, the government gets with them.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that me definitely the combination of both, especially sensitive areas. I think is necessary. It's necessary for let them. If then they privatize certain area, the main part of them we involve security risk. I want for say the government, for the federal government, for they in charge of that. Because we as human beings, we get interest, So, for instance, if they privatize that whole place for efficiency's sake, maybe things will be efficient, but waiting would that day for the country for make sure say banned items and then they come inside. Where people and look around and know say, okay, then people are waiting, would then get this particular entrance area, not to government, not just private people, then they're afraid for car with some things that way harmful to the country. The reason why we want sensitive areas and way at the window to the country or doors to the country, it will be mandated by government because now that for be government your mandate for protect people and property. And so when there is a door for things that come inside from outside, you will give private person, they care too much about that because the main aim of a profit making business is for let them make profit. And so if somebody they come with cocaine container and then the private person charge for let them pay $25,000, it could be easy for let them pay and that money they don't give that private company there. So necessary for sensitive area in as much as we know the ineptness and inefficiency of people where then they put in charge again, all boil down to leadership. Like where that man they talk about people and they come and they can't take them pay. As a good citizen, if you be see this thing, but I think an anonymous call can be made to places. You can even call radio station and say, hey, this now what a killer and take time with something they happen. Would they see some man and they can't take pay? They're not even walking at the place. Even that alarm day, whether the government go there for go check or not, at least somebody area na the media, then it cause a little bit of shaking. We all get for contribute one way or the other. When you day in a place, then you notice something like that. Find a way for leak that sensitive information they even to a friend so that they will make a call somewhere. Now so we all they help for make the change. I know say protection not they that much for whistleblowers now we country, but if we really want for be part of the contribution for make changes, some things and they will for the beginning alarm, we would they. Not they wait after many years, then don't raking, then we voice them out. Anybody way they listen, any side way they work, especially on the government side. If you they see them here, they happen, please alarm to somebody. If you not talk yourself, you put a bag by your head and just say, hey, if you care for this country, now so thing I see. Me they work there, but no one let them know me. You can disguise your voice or any way. Lord, the alarm out. Go to the media, triple A line they call them. PVM say, hey, now so thing we suspect. You can make some calls them. All these things go help for make some changes. But place where is sensitive, when are the doors to enter the country, and no one let them privatize them. And the privatization way kind of move where people and they make it always end up with either a friend way they know we probably not qualify, but because now part of them then give them, and we then take over now, then they rake in money anyhow they want to rake around now the country. Even this idea where you go tax them, business move. The final consumer always pay the brunt of it because for business person, now for make profit. You privatize for raking more money. Some things and they where government they in charge is because they want for help the country subsidize for some things there so that the country go there at a level space where people and go able afford things there. This is the reason why some areas we don't want the government forgive private people because that area did not for totally be profit making. It for be just effective and efficient for run. Government not for day into the business of profit making. Because if we government do it now, just imagine what the private person could do. As a result, everything they go up. You give sensitive areas to private people, not only the security of the country go there at jeopardy, but the good being of the people go there at risk. Because people go come on with fake things we go cause harm to the public, where they no go care. All they care about, they are there to make profit. When you pay them, they let you go. So we want to be careful, because because government, the more noise people, they hear say people and they support certain things, then they run with her. And just not something a friend or family member, then the way not go be effective for the people. And thank you so much, Triple.
Thank you very much, Ezekiel.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
This now Martha Egonobi. Good evening. I call from Delaware.
Yes, Martha. You get 3 minutes, ma.
Okay, so me on contribution to this revenue way they don't raise, say do ya make them use the money. Let we see who side the money go, or which they do it, or who side them put, or which them plan for do it, because the raise revenue is fine, the tax is fine, just like where everybody they talk the citizen and they suffer. So if they suffer for the tax within the raise, then they're able to get the benefits back again. If they put up water or light, it go good. Like when a man say if light then a salon, maybe say if light then a salon, but couple people then go able go open. Like a small office you open, you go a long way for employ people and you pay people. But if light's not there, you know, go for the pay money for generator or gas all the time. So they are the revenue where they raise, make them use them. Now we see a lot of people at the country, let's say get peace. That's your contribution for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Martha.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Thank you very much, Nauma Record from Los Angeles.
Okay.
Listen, my brother, the problem here is for privatize, not a bad thing. I would say America is one of the countries that we good by that. All the world and what America is said right now, from Iraq to Afghanistan, most of the contractors are private contractors. Go right now the Pentagon. And there are a lot of things and they were not private contractors. They're good on that. But the thing here is they know what thing they do, because then get checks and balance. For anything we they do, you get to report that to the Senate. And the Senate therefore call you. How many times would you open PBS or any of the Senate stations and they see what they interview people every day about things and where they go on? We not get our checks and balances. So the young government, they can do anything. They can privatize any company they want for privatize. Now, then people that they tell we say, then they make money, which then they absolutely, they're not a problem for make money. I don't know what the APC will do for 10 years, because they don't ever tell me how much money they will make. Like, you can't go with and guy at the courts of how much money they bring in. But for all the money where they bring in, waiting we get for show for. Simple as me tell you say they make $100,000 or $200,000 a year. Then I they drive a bucket, and myself now one of the people I wanna like myself. Because I really get for sugar, I need to make them. Not need to go work hard. It's not nice to cast for live in a nice house or eat good. Because what in that's not the reason. But then people here they make this money. The people of Sierra Leone they see anything. Show me from all the money who they don't collect outside of the rubbish we they call school, free education. Show me any developmental infrastructure with the people that don't put together in the past 3 years. Show me any. Well, you know, side the money to go. The money to go per wage bill. The reason why they're so desperate for raise this money because now they take for pay themselves. Sunday, I watch that show where Samuel Wise he host. You they see the anger that Dr. Dennis Bright in face and that mommy Claudia them face. Then when you look at the two ministers then, I don't know for some reason, now they don't body now. Now the Medina McKinney not too long ago. Now the Medina this back Sunday, them two sit down. Why them two now them peer themselves? If not BO peer them, if not they decide for peer themselves, but now they don't turn body. Look the way with the Minister of Agriculture, the way he relax. Anything where they talk, they put hold on them. Anything where they talk, they put hold on them. The guys they not care. All that money, then is bright talk 'em. All the money to go into wage bills. The man coming in create job them for even the people and where they work in picking and dog them. It creates job for them. So what's I feel say all the money they go because show me who said they don't put that. Show me who said they don't put that. The other day in the interview, Keke Toma say, okay, all that thing una don't talk so una they do, una they do, una they do. Show we one thing una don't do. Even when they ask about that solar system about Acorn, they say, well, because maybe the deal not go right, or Acorn give you a deal with Salona the profit, they need to give you any correct answer. So then raising this money, now one thing, spending this money in the country, now other thing. So who side they spend the money? Who side they don't put up? Who side the money there? No infrastructure. Because that road within that bridge within the bill, na don't know. Every single thing what this government do, you go tell say donor, IMF, World Bank, this, that. So waiting at the union. Waiting then really they do with all this money because they don't collect money. Waiting when they do it. So in terms of this go around and privatize not a bad thing because we all know how Sierra Leoneans and they anything where they say that the country now then they destroy. So if private company come, it do well and then they pay, then taxes them, take that money now and make use of them. But then they do them. So that God help we.
Thank you very much, Omar.
Yeah, you mean now?
Yeah, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you, people. This is James Kamara. They call from Maryland. Let me start with this conversation. How we going with this private quasi thing with the government they do. Quite frankly, let's say they are not so bad thing. You know, where governments they partner with private companies to push things go before. You know, most of the callers they don't see that thing a day. But what we the more concerned about is who side some of them money they already go. I think you said don't mention most of the things that we don't put in place. You know, in the last call I even mentioned, they say that they want and they release all this money there. Where APC then I know you talk about. You know. So SRBP they come and they tell me say that they raise pocket money and they raise taxes all over the place and they broke all kind of record. But what's in the poor man they make out of all the things they are willing to raise. Now then some of them questions there. Now then we get for the acts and people there. Couple of days ago they bring huge delegates to New York. The same delegates they come and carry it out now Washington DC. Do we really need all them people in there for Canada, America? When I say now already don't get the expertise then, they don't really need all them boku staff in there. You know, I happen for go now Metro Center, downtown Macy's. I see the ministers inside it. If you see the way they run around in the infrastructure, you know, there is shop. I got to not be the guy there, I just look at no more. But I cash the phone. Everything within the pay $100. I didn't country money than they want to be. So where they give the kind of the both stay, you know, they don't make all these big tax collections then. But what thing they get for sure for that day? Privatization will no try for no condemn in any way, shape or form. Because a good thing after all, I don't know for how many years with some of their companies they are willing to get
Some of you who go up there to be with them. And so we say if you get job now attack, you're not lucky man. Because some of them guys they will begin at the area them that we know where they get money pass even some of them ministers there. A big man in the area. So that thing is publicly known. But now we just hope no more say where they collect them money there and they make out for good use. Because get small institutions then where you get people away and they pay so much. The other day they talk about some agencies there where they put some people there where they say where they combine the amount of salary they really pay. Only some of the top tier people then. Enough for them to pay one whole institution. They get deputy. Some institutions then they don't need deputy. So now all this money that they go now so they scatter around and they bring the people in. They're sorry for people that wait in a salon. The one that wait see waiting they go on, make them they come at their platform, they are letting they come bring their opinion, letting they talk them. Because the whole way they cancel with the talker, some of the other people that will know. Jusu Safar, I think they say that the minister of all the other ministers there. If he didn't Metro Center, that messes. They shop out of himself. If you go to Africa website, they get how much the president collects per year per day. One great day, April 18, 2021, over $100,000. This thing are facts. This thing are valid information, sir. If the president they get $100,000 per year, what do the ministers then will get? What do the layman and the directors the way they will get? Then they bring presidents, and they bring ministers, and they bring directors, and they bring all type of level of people for just kind of Washington DC. You get over 50 people there. Then they own one. They don't even get taxi, they don't even get motor cars there. Then they catch Uber, then they charge a private motor cars all over the place. The guy will come out. One minister, and Uber and the charger. So let us sorry for those people here. So I'm your contribution on this side.
Thank you very much, James. Yes, caller, ID live on here. Your name and who side the call from, please.
Yeah, this is Mike from Philadelphia.
You get 3 minutes, sir.
I want to ask, they don't privatize Wataki now, or they want
part of Wataki already we know say privatize and get institution then they render service where they under public-private partnership with the government. So now then they would talk about the money where they say they raise in the first 6 months of this year 144 billion euros.
Wow. Me, I want to ask this administration because this it wouldn't privatize Salcap. What you will benefit from that? I don't see anything will benefit from that. And if then they do any privatization, they don't take the entire go to parliament because parliament not open right now. We want to know that one day if they take anything go to parliament and waiting parliament say, waiting the people SSF say because they never they do survey of the people SSF because most of them wouldn't they try for privatize so. Now the public owner, now the people of the country, now they own them here. But then just they grab them, privatize this, privatize that. They don't do a public survey and see what the people they want. No, they do all that here. They just they privatize. It's like now sell the one, not sell now. So we not get nothing again. I don't understand what they're going with this administration. Let them be wise. They are at least let them left something for the next generation. When I just they sell and they sell. One day you go grab. All my way this alone, not to Sierra Leone again, because everything go don't privatize. No, gotta be careful what you do. I'm your contribution. I don't want to hold on because the conversation don't go on too long.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mike.
All right.
For other people we can join we wanna meet with this conversation. Make I just help you quick. Not to say government today, tomorrow, yesterday. Then they go privatize Wataki. No. We get to what we call National Commission for Privatization. National Commission for Privatization, the budget hearing they go on now. Well, man, they go sell a market for defend waiting and feel say government need for give them as budget for 2022. So, Commission for Privatization go sell the market. So then they make boast say inside this year alone, the first 6 months, they don't collect over 144 billion leons. Dr. Prince Hardy, known as the chairman, don't tell we for say he need for make them give 6 billion leons for next year. Now in budget dandy. So inside that talk where they talk, now they get for tell we say indoor is over 144 billion. Where they give the example them for also raise the money, now they watakika inside. So me Tripoli try for things say maybe now make things they bit expensive right now na the market because different service system na the port. It there to the private business now. It tells seller no free because not to sell and sell them. Na pong them ponga. Eh? Not to sell and sell them ponga no more to them people and they. Them people and they get their own court. Then government they get their own court. Now they talk about. Because I know I'm tomorrow. The person say, oh, na share network na them be they talk and say they don't privatize. This na different thing them. But go back and listen to the entire program from the start of the program. Then they go help you. ACC into a member be called on a name, because for this year, for the first 6 months, 144 over. We don't know for the latter 6 months how much they go collect, but then the project say next year they go collect 160 billion over. All right. Oh, they wait. And we want for Siam. What is safe? Daddy God. Help we in a salon. We go there back tomorrow, yeah? Oh, Lefia. We don't do enough. Till we meet again tomorrow, Tripoli say, tata.